Okay. The Guardian recently commented that Margaret Thatcher used her wardrobe as a weapon. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it gives us a real insight into how, in many ways, as such a prominent female politician, she really had to manage her femininity. It's really striking when you hear some of the obituaries and some of the kind of homage that was paid to her, of how some of her male colleagues still talked about her femininity. One cabinet colleague talked about the turn of her ankle, for example, rather than any of her ideological politics. So it gives you a sense of how much she actually did manage her femininity quite effectively, I think. For Thatcher, I think there was a sense in which she needed to be both feminine, to adhere to conservative ideas of what a woman should be, and yet at the same time, by becoming Prime Minister, she was breaking through that glass ceiling. So she also needed to look and sound really authoritative at the same time. And in many ways, her dress and her tone of her voice, of course, was one of the ways in which she managed to do that.
Yeah, The Guardian actually described her as a beauty icon as well. We see
I'm not sure I really get that.
I'm not sure about that either.
I think it's very, very difficult to understand what was going through Tory men's heads in the 70s and 80s. It's not a place I'd want to go.
Now, there was a film in 2011, The Iron Lady. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
What did you think about the portrayal of Margaret Thatcher in this film?
I think for those of us who actually lived through Thatcherism, I mean, I was only a young girl at that time, but it was very, very difficult viewing. I have to confess I couldn't make it through to the end of the film because I found it so irritating. I think in many ways it tries to glamorize her. It focuses very much on her achievement as a woman rather than her achievement as a woman politician.
Just a question kind of about today's events. What's your sort of, your overarching feeling of sort of the ceremony that she's been given, the send-off she's had?
Did you manage to catch any of it?
Yeah, I've managed to see some of it. I find it incredibly difficult, actually, because the funeral in many ways is a moment, personally, it's an occasion for a family to remember. But when we have a figure like her passing away, it's also a national remembering.
I don't know about
Very
you,
excited
but
about that.
I thought that was really, very interesting. Just the sort of the weaving career path she'd taken, and
she's a very talented woman, isn't she?
most definitely. And it was kind of how that she just sort of picked up broadcasting and rugby, and it's always been a passion.
Started off in the newspapers.
Yeah.
Went into broadcast.
When the World Cup came along, and it's all gone from there.
The main focus is obviously on sport now for her.
Yeah, brilliant. So it just shows you, I think, that things can come out of nowhere. The unexpected happens, and how whatever career path you start, it can go anywhere, which I think we had echoed in the earlier show. So I'm pretty excited to see the second half of the interview.
Yes, I'm very
about
excited.
Her book, Wales
to see
Play in
the
Red.
second half, yeah.
But right now, it's time to go over to the cloud.
Get it?
Yep, we got it.
You're formulating a plan, aren't you?
I'm
no,
thinking
don't give him time.
No.
We've got some
Let's have a look
selections.
at some of these wonderful hats that
We shall.
What's this? This looks like, Predator.
I do.
Alien.
I'm thinking caps could be the answer. We'll go.
A little bit kind of braids, Bob Marley sort of thing.
Yeah, Bob Marley, yeah.
Anyway, we're not meant to be looking, we're meant to be putting them on. So I'm going to start you off now, okay? Do you want to grab a hat? As soon as you put your first hat on, we'll start the timer.
Okay, should we go down here then?
I'll give you enough time to put your first hat on.
And then you'll start the timer.
I will. Come on, Alex, just pick a hat, please.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we ready?
Before we continue with our presenter challenge, I'd just like to make an amendment to the texting details that I gave you just now. You need to text to 770 EXTN92 with the amount that you'd like to donate.
Now, Ashley, you join us in the demonstration area for today's presenter challenge. So what have we got to do today?
Well, if you are based in the atrium, you may have noticed our $10 donation box outside the studio. And if you haven't and want to donate some of your clothes to a good cause, then do pop along to the television studio. Anyway, today, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have a minute, okay, to dive into the box and put on as many clothes as you can. Literally, if you fight for them, I try and break you up, but I can't promise anything. And then when the time runs out, we'll see who wins. Okay, you ready?
Absolutely. Let's get diving.
3, 2, 1, action. Come on.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
That's a top. You can't.
Oh, is it?
That's a top.
Oh, I thought it was a
you
scarf.
can't use tops as scarves. No, you need
My apologies.
You need to wear it properly.
I can't get it.
I've got a dress on.
Quickly, step into it, Abby. You can step into it. You've both gone for floral. That's interesting. Was that a personal choice? You're drawn to floral. Now you put it on a t-shirt. And Abby, that dress isn't on. That's not on. I've never seen anyone wear it.
I was quite shocked
Well, I
at
always thought when you say I love you, I don't think you could say these specific reasons. And so I thought it's just like, you felt when you said it, but I guess they're not necessarily talking about the first time you say it. I guess it's very different. But maybe it's, so, like, we've got some of the reasons here, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like hidden under. And it's your other half doing the housework and looking after you, which it is sweet, but then it's just like, how many times are these people saying I love you to each other?
Yeah. I think also at the same time, we may have we're all female. I think we may be having a bit of a one-sided view here too, because there's definitely, the saying actions speak louder than words. And I know in the study, the majority of men did say that, that their partner should already know, and they don't have to say and tell them that they love them for them to understand.
Maybe for men it's more about the occasional romantic gesture, like a bunch of flowers or something, or rose petals up the stairs. I don't know whatever.
Sounds
really.
Very
but
romantic.
yeah.